Welcome in, everyone. TexAgs Rewind presented by Specs. We're here inside the Rollo Insurance Studio. Got Annabelle and Callie Garner with me. Annabelle, give me a U.S. history fact.
I don't know any U.S. history facts.
Yikes.
I'm
Callie
not a good
Garner.
history person.
When was Pearl Harbor?
Oh, God.
December 7th, 1941. In the Rewind today, we had Billy Liucci, of course, TexAgs owner. You know him, right?
I think so.
Yeah. We had Roy Philpott. Did you enjoy that?
I did.
You did? We had John Nabors talking Arkansas basketball. And we had the baseball bunch, Brauninger, Richard, and Scott Clendenin in studio. Check it out.
And that's the thing, and that's what you got to give it credit to, because Texas A&M is they're a team that will get a bunch of offensive rebounds. They're ones that get to the free throw line. They have Wade Taylor, who's been there for 18 years, it seems like. They got experience, and Buzz Williams is a really good coach, and so that was just always been something that's been strange about the playing Texas A&M is they're just such a different team than what you normally face in the SEC, and for me, it's going to come down to a couple of things. One, Adu Thero, who is Arkansas's most physical, powerful athlete and presence. He had a really good game against Kentucky, and he's their best physical guy out there. And he's going to have to be able to handle the physicality. He's going to have to be able to handle getting inside and everything. He didn't play well this past game against LSU, but I think it's going to come down to him. And also it's going to come down to the surgence of Big Z, Zvonimir Ivicic. Try to say that 3 times fast. Dude is hitting threes. He's the best three-point shooter Arkansas has, and he's 7'2". He's hitting 44% of his threes. He had 25 points this past game. And if he can continue to get that going and be able to be that threat from 3, it's going to open up some other guys. So it's going to be a very tall and very tough task. But I feel like if Adu Thero and Big Z have great games, I think Arkansas can get out of there with a win.
I'm going to ask you a David Nuno question. David likes to ask us, and it's a good question. So typically when A&M plays, their opponent has a guy that is not among the leading scorers, not among the top 3 or 4, right? It was Goodine against Oklahoma, and then it was Blue Cane against Georgia. Somebody that you don't expect, that's averaging about 7 or 8 points, just goes off. So who is that from Arkansas that is the guy that's maybe under the radar a little bit, but if you're not careful, come out there and really hurt you?
I'm glad you say that, because I feel like Arkansas is the only team that ever has that guy that just goes off on them in Bud Walton Arena or something, where they've averaged 2 threes a game, but they hit 7 of them. So I'm glad that there's another team in that. But for Arkansas, honestly, I could see it being 2 different guys. The first one being DJ Wagner. He was the number 1 player coming out of high school a couple of years ago. He was at Kentucky his first year, transferred to Arkansas. And it's not that he's been bad. It's just there's not any particular thing that he's just been amazing at. He's had to take over the point guard role by and large because of the fact of Boogie Flan being out for the year. And I think he's done a really good job of facilitating. But as far as scoring goes, he's averaging 10 points a game, but it doesn't feel like he is.
I asked Buzz Williams, I was like, what do you look for in the transfer portal? Like, how did you hit the number of home runs you hit with this past cycle? And he was like, well, we needed an outside shooter. We needed some help inside. And, we look at guys that match our system and our culture. And he goes, it really just boiled down to the players that we got. And we went all in with those players. So it's not like we had this extended offer sheet and sent out all these offers to guys that just put their name in the portal. We did our homework, and this is the end result. And so I think that has paid dividends. It paid dividends in the non-conference schedule. I don't know how you put a value and a price tag on what Wade Taylor does. And I know, that he wasn't healthy the entire season up to this point. But I look at his last couple of games. I don't have his Georgia numbers in front of me. I had 2 games in a row with the Aggies, and I saw him go, I think it was 7 of 8 from 3 at South Carolina. He hits the game winner at Missouri. Wade Taylor's going to leave there as the all-time leading scorer in school history, assuming he stays healthy. How do you put a value on that and what all of that experience means to Texas A&M and in the SEC in particular? It's difficult to do. It's impossible to do. But him and his stabilizing nature, if it's a close game, we all know where the ball is going. And when he got the basketball at Mizzou last Saturday, it was 10 seconds left. And I think he initially got it, and then it goes to Andy. you know he's going to get it back. And when the shot's off the fingertips, in my mind, I'm thinking this is going in. And so, like, I know his teammates are thinking that, right? And look, Henry Coleman, what do you have? 16 rebounds in that game.
Mm-hmm.
That was a career best. You've got his returning experience, Taylor's returning experience. I'm adding Pharrell Payne. I'm adding these other pieces. Garcia is coming off the bench doing things, and he's been dynamic at times this year. You've got guys that know their roles, and with all of the experience, they're not going to get rattled. We saw that at Oklahoma, right? I mean, we mentioned Zurich Phelps, another guy in the portal that comes in and has been remarkable. So I like teams in March that have guys that know their roles, teams that are experienced. And then you've got these bouncy bigs that can rebound and don't mind sitting in the backseat until their name is called upon, and their offense is built around the offensive glass with Coleman and with Payne. Everybody kind of fits into this puzzle kind of fits together. So it's not a team you want to see in March because of all of those reasons.
Talk about a little bit of the player we're going to see in Terrence.
Well, it's funny because we had Caden Kennan here, and he called TK the ultimate gamer. He said when the lights go on, that guy's tools flash way more than they do in practice. And there's some bloodlines that go with that, right? And I would say Caden Kent is very similar in that way. Caden Kent's tools in practice, you may be, they may not catch your eye, but when the lights come on, there's nobody else I'd rather them have hit a ground ball to than Caden Kent, right? Because you just trust him. TK has just been, and he's something different, right? Just an electric skill set. I don't know if he's faster than Jace Lavalette, but it's close. And he can really go 180 feet as good as anybody or better than anybody on the ball club. So, and he's earned this opportunity. He came in as a highly touted true freshman out of Atlanta. Obviously, there's a little bit of pressure for him coming here, following his dad's legacy, and that's been no sweat for him. He has taken it in stride. You'd never know by talking to him that he's felt any pressure at all. He may not have. But you talk to him, he's a confident kid, and he's ready to go. I like that he's getting the start. I like that he's earned the opportunity to get the start.
And I like his positional flexibility. We've seen him on the infield. We see him in the outfield. You and I were talking how, you had heard from some people that, hey, if there's a pop-up hit on the infield and he calls it, we want him to go get the ball. Because when the ball's in the air, he's got that ability to track it and stay focused on it and catch it. So, I mean, I just think that, a freshman coming into this lineup in a year where everybody's like, it's all upperclassmen, it's all transfers, it's all guys with experience, to have him. I liked what I saw from Sawyer Farr, but before he got nicked up, those guys are pushing their way saying, hey, we belong at this level and we're learning from the guys around us and we have the ability to contribute to this team when our time is called. And I think that for him, it's the first week. And whether that's a couple hits, whether it's scoring a big run or making a big play in the outfield, he's going to contribute to what A&M does this week and all season long.
That's the best A&M baseball team of all time last year. Mm-hmm. Highest preseason ranked team ever here. The highest level of expectation ever for A&M baseball entering this season. And a basketball team that is playing at a level that puts them up there with some of the best ever at A&M. Now, in basketball and baseball, but we're so deep in the season in hoops, they're going to be in the conversation if they get to the if they get to the Sweet 16. If they get to the Sweet 16 with their regular season body of work, you're going to have to put them in the discussion, is that the best A&M team ever? Obviously, if they go further than that, they're going to cement themselves. I still think it's the AC Law-led Sweet 16 team that went I think they lost 3 Big 12 games back when the Big 12 was the Big 12. But this basketball team has a chance to rate number 2, if not number 1, if they make a run in March. But they're both these squads are fun to watch. The players are really fun to get behind. And in baseball, when you look at Mike Early and coaching his first game tonight, that's an added piece to that gets you really fired up and excited for him. For those of you around town that know him and have met him, you know what I say when there's just not a higher quality person coaching at A&M in any sport. There's been plenty of great ones, but he's right up there at the top.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned, A&M basketball has a chance this year to be their highest seed ever going into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, if they get it too.
Again, depends on what bracketologist you look at now, but some of them saying they're in the conversation for a 1,
Mm-hmm.
Comfortably in the 2 to 3 range. So just, that says a lot about where this
Yeah,
team
if they
is.
can get it 2, to get it 2, they're going to have to earn it. We know that. Right now, I'd lean towards a 3. I think they'll get some of these games. They might drop a couple, but if they get hot right now, a 2 is certainly in play. It is absolutely in play. I mean, in theory, a 1's in play.
I have a Valentine's joke I can close it with.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did the tomato turn red on Valentine's Day?
Why, Callie Garner?
Because it saw the salad dressing.
Like, comment, subscribe. Go report Callie Garner on all social media, and we'll see you next time.
Quality.